You know what that sound means. It's time for some power rankings. Welcome back, everybody. Really excited to bring this edition to you guys. A little bit of shakeup, not a ton. The playoff teams are starting to separate themselves from everybody else. As you guys know, we do have 6 teams that make the playoffs. That means 2 get a bye, and 3 play 6 and 4 plays 5. Big week. But let's get rolling. Staying consistent at number 10, the Kareem Lady Punters, 1-8 on the season. Emmanuel Sanders, fantastic week for him for the Niners. And you have Harrison Butker. Every time I can highlight a kicker, I like to do it. Big week for him as he won the game for the Chiefs. Moving on to number 9, dropping down 1 spot. Cobra Kyler, 3-6 on the year, 4 losses in a row, but a big chance for him to get back on track this week. Still has a really good team. Still has definitely a chance at the playoffs. Kenyon Drake, big time week from him. It might only last 1 week with David Johnson saying he's 100% going to play this week. Mark Ingram, he's been awesome all year as well for the Ravens. And that's a very explosive offense with Lamar Jackson as well. Moving on to number 8, jumping up a spot. NFL All-Stars, they're hot, 2 in a row. They got their first win last week. They liked it so much, they said, hey, let's get another one of those. So they do that this week. Tyreek Hill, great week for him as he hooked up with good old Matt Moore. And then Matty Stafford slinging that ball around like he is a bazooka. Big time week for Matt Stafford. Moving on, number 7, dropping down 1 spot, the Singapore Sea Turtles, 3-6 on the year. Dame Will, big game off the bench for the Singapore Sea Turtles, and then George Kittle was as great as he always is. My estimation, one of the very best tight ends in the league. Love watching George Kittle play. Singapore Sea Turtles probably need to win this week to stay on track, but a good chance to do that as the Sea Turtles hopefully can make it happen. And Chrissy D's right in the other room right now. So I'll be recording a podcast with them in just a minute. Really excited about that. And the other guy that I'm recording a podcast with, number 6, Carry On Wayward Son, took down Singapore Sea Turtles this week. 5-4 on the year. Tyler Lockett is an absolute beast. And then Danny Dimes. He's diming all over the place. Love to see that from Danny Dimes. It's going to be big, too, because Minshew is not the starter anymore in Jacksonville. So Danny Dimes is going to be the guy for Carry On Wayward Son. Moving on to number 5. The Arrowmark Avengers, 5-4 on the year, dropping down from the 3 spot. Zach Ertz, remembered he was a tight end 1. You love to see that. Devontae Adams back for the first week in a while for Robbie Ray, so I know he loves that. And he is in the thick of the playoff race, and he is good. You do not want to play Arrowmark Avengers whenever that playoff time comes. Moving on to number 4, jumping up a spot. Rack 'em up, 6-3 on the year. 3 in a row for Mark. He had Saquon Barkley doing Saquon Barkley things. I know he loves to have him back in the lineup. And then Jalen Samuels, what a pickup for him. A very running back, strong team. And he has another running back, Jalen Samuels, who's awesome as well. Big time managing by Marky Mark. Moving on to number 3, jumping up a spot from the 4 spot. Pow, 6-3 on the year. Big O with a huge win. He had Melvin Gordon fall in the end zone twice. And then Dak Prescott, he was on the bench, but man, he looked good for the Cowboys this week. Is he worth $50 million a year? Probably not, but he is a really good quarterback. Pow, big season for him. Number 2 spot, staying consistent. Number 2, Green Eggs and Beckham. We got a huge win over Nick Yonter fan club this week, but can't jump over him. Would still be in 2 games back. So staying consistent at number 2 spot. Russell Wilson threw a 70 ball out there. He was awesome. And then Christian McCaffrey is so good. He is in the thick of the MVP race, and I love Christian McCaffrey so much. He's so good. And then number 1 for another week. He did lose this week, but Nick Yonter fan club, 8-1 on the season. Lamar Jackson did his thing with Mahomes being out. And Josh Jacobs, he's a rookie. I don't know if he knows that because he's fucking around and having himself a fantastic year. So we'll go from the top to the bottom. Nick Yonter fan club at 1. Green Eggs and Beckham at 2. Pow at 3. Rack 'em up at 4. Ironmark Avengers at 5. Carry On Wayward Son at 6. Singapore Sea Turtles at 7. NFL All-Stars at 8. Cobra Kyler at 9. And the Kareem Lady Punters at 10. Passive of the week, Rack 'em Up versus Cobra Kyler. Rack 'em Up is definitely in the upper echelon of teams in this league, so he's hoping to continue that on. And then Cobra Kyler needs a win this week, so he's going to need that as well. That's all I got for you guys. I think this video is a little bit shorter. Maybe I'm talking faster. I just had a Mountain Dew a couple minutes ago, so maybe that's hyping me up. But I'm in the green room right now, getting ready to roll for our podcast. So love you all. Can't wait to see you virtually next week. And that's it. That's all. This is Kamis signing off.